This is the Algebra 1 Summer School Unit 7 Lesson 1 practice video. Lesson 1 was all about interpreting and writing linear models. This is the practice where I'm going to go through numbers 1 and 3 from your practice file. If you have questions other than number 1 and 3, you can check out the key that's posted on Canvas or come into office hours and ask your instructor for help. All right, number 1, it says the cost of buying cakes based on the number of servings they provide is displayed in the graph below. How much does it cost to buy 16 servings of cake? When I look at my graph, if I look at servings, I go to 16. When I go up to my graph and read to the left, it says that the cost is going to be $20. So it's going to cost you $20 to buy 16 servings of cake. Next, it says how many servings do you get for $100? So that's a cost. I start on the cost here at 100, go over to my graph. When I read down, I can see that it's going to give me 80 servings of cake. Now they're asking you for the y-intercept of this graph. Well, that's where you cross the y-axis. So it looks like my y-intercept is at 0, 0. Now what that means in context, the first 0 is an x. On the x-axis is servings of cake. So it means if you buy 0 servings of cake, it will cost $0. That second 0 is a y, and cost is on the y-axis. So 0 servings of cake are going to cost you $0. Now, we want to know what's the slope of this line. Well, the slope is the rise over run. So I picked two nice points on my graph. Looks like those work. And then I'm going to go rise, which is up. Here, now it's 1 square, but it's going up by 20. So the slope is $20 with units, running over 1 square, which is 16 servings. So $20 for 16 servings of cake. So that's one way to interpret the slope. I'm going to simplify the 20 over 16 first. 20 over 16 simplifies to be 5 over 4. So that means that it costs $5 for 4 servings of cake. Now, if you did not simplify the fraction, that's okay. You could have written it costs $20 for 16 servings of cake. We like to simplify things, but if you didn't simplify the slope, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Now it says write an equation representing the cost of buying n servings of cake in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b form. Now instead of y, we're going to talk about cost. So we're going to say c equals. I always do my slope next, which is 5 over 4 n for servings of cake plus 0. We don't have to put anything for the y-intercept because the y-intercept is 0. So it's just 5 over 4n. All right, that's number 1. That's given a graph. Can I interpret what the graph is telling me? And can I write an equation? Now this next part is you're given an equation, and let's interpret what all the parts mean. So number 3, Chandler sells homemade cookies at the Delaware Farmers Market each summer. The profit he makes, P, for any number of cookies he sells, N, is written as P equals 0.5 plus 1.25C. Now it says, what does the 0.5 represent in this model? Now I want you to be really careful because notice the 1.25 is next to the variable, which means that the 0.5 is the constant or the y-intercept. The 0.5 is the y-intercept. So what does 0.5 mean in context of the problem? Well, let's read the problem again. Chandler sells homemade cookies. The profit he makes for the number of cookies he sells is written below. Well, 0.5 is the starting amount, the y-intercept is the starting amount of his profit. So you can say that Chandler starts with, that's 50 cents profit. Or you could also say that even if Chandler sells 0 cookies, he's going to make 50 cents. He already has 50 cents in his pocket, which is not a lot of money, but it's somewhere to start. Now, what does the 1.25 represent in context? Well, we said the 1.25 was tied to the variable. That's the slope in slope-intercept form, the number that's next to the variable. 1.25, C is the number of cookies he sells. So we have 1.25, that means he's going to sell each cookie for 125. So Chandler makes a profit of $1.25 per cookie he sells. Not bad. Now the last question, how much profit does Chandler make if he sells 224 cookies? So 224 cookies is going to go into the equation for C, and I want to find his profit. So we'll have profit equals 0.5 plus 1.25 times 224. When I put that in my calculator, it turns out that Chandler is going to make $280.50. That's his profit for selling 224 cookies. All right, that's your linear modeling, interpreting linear models practice. If you have other questions, come on in for help and your instructor will help you.